You know what it's been a while since I've done? Other than post a video? It's been a while since I've made a tiny tapestry, so we did that, and we gave it away, and then we just kind of kept the footage for a little span of time there, but we're actually going to go toss it all together and create something, so yeah, we made a cute little tiny tapestry, and I am overjoyed. That's a bit extra. And I am happy to be sharing it with you. So, I hope you enjoy it too. It's about time to get into this wonderful masterpiece. As you can see, I decided to do all the slip knots and for attaching all the strings first because I just did not want to record that because it is a very boring and long process as my cat walks across the floor and makes a bunch of sound. That's great. Anyway, if you looked at the thumbnail, I have just decided to stop blurring it out because it's going to be apps how this looked and turn out a little different than how it was supposed to. It's probably just my knotting or the bass strings not being thick enough, or it's probably mostly just my knotting, let's be honest. But anyway, it's super cute. I absolutely loved it. And before I started making this, I was like a tiny bit stressed because this was a slight upgrade from the Lego tiny tapestry that I did. It's got more string, it's got more bass strings to it, and then it also has a lot more colors, and you change between them a lot more than you would on like the Lego where I just had 3 colors. This one had 7 or 8, I think. I can't quite remember right now, but after a while of it, and it wasn't as harder it being, because every time I start another tiny tapestry, I'm like, oh wow, changing between strings is hard, it's gonna be iffy. But the more I make them, the easier it gets, and also the faster I get. Like the first row of knots that I did, which was just one color, took me 9 minutes. But whenever I started like getting into the hang of it, I could really just like, I could make them a lot faster, especially if I didn't have to change through string colors as much or anything like that. It just goes a lot faster. And I will say using shorter strings, while slightly counterintuitive because it's going to take you more time to cut up strings and everything, makes it a lot easier to make knots because you don't have to pull this long string through a little loop and just pull it up. So it's a lot easier to use shorter strings, at least in my opinion. One thing I absolutely love about making these videos is just coming back and looking at the time lapse. Because this right here, this was a little bit less than 5 hours of just straight knotting, which I did almost all of it in just one day / night so that I could get it done, because procrastination is the bane of my existence, because if I procrastinate, it won't get done for a year, as I have the start of a bracelet that I started like 2 years ago that I have not made a single knot on since. I should really get around to doing that, and I probably will at some point, but not right now. So I did the first row to make sure that all the knotting and slip knots stayed in place, and then I came back the next day and worked just straight through it. I got it all done in a day, and I was so proud of myself. I listened to a book. I had a great time, honestly. After a little while, my back did hurt, but then I just like switched a position in the chair and it was all fine again. And honestly, just like looking at the finished product and just seeing how pretty it is for a day and then giving it away to somebody else because this was a gift to somebody else just makes me feel so happy, because I feel like I gave them something special. It was hand created, and it's just, they make me happy, so I might as well make them all the time. The person who received this did enjoy it, which makes it all better, because it's like 5 hours of work, and if they didn't like it, then I would have just been sad. But this is the finished product. This is how it turned out, and I am just completely in love with it. I hope you like it too.